So today we are going to discuss about the generation of the CT. In the first generation CT, the source here we are using is a pencil beam, and the detector is only two X-ray detector we are using. So the moment is parallel ray geometrical moment of the X-ray source and the detector. So in the translations moment, it is a linearly movement and it will occur 160 rays across a 24 centimeter field of view. In the rotations wise, it can be acquire 180 projections at a 1 degree interval. Scanning time is 4.5 minutes with 1.5 minutes to reconstruct the slide. So in this slide you have seen in the left side figure is the EMI Mark 1, which is the first CT scanner, which is used used for which is used for the head CT scanning. So here the first this EMI marks first scanner. Here the woman with the brain lesions is the first patient to scan. So in this scan we notice that there is a cyst which is shown in a dark spot on her brain, which shows that machine has an ability to detect the tumor. So if you see in the left side, this is how the arrangement of the detector and the source. So this is how the image acquired by EMI Mark 1. If you see in the right side, so if you see in the image there is a dark spots are there, and on the left side you see the figure. This is how the procedural part of your scanning. So here 80 into 80 matrix of the images, and method we use is here is a waterbird method, and scan time is 10 minutes, and it will give a 13 mm 2 slice of the images. So this is how the your source and detector movement in the first generation: first translate, then rotate, then translate. So in the first city generations, you have seen it is a large channel in the signal due to increase in the X-ray flux which is outside of the head. So in order to solve this signal increase, uh, we can make the patient's head to press into a flexible membrane which is surrounded by a water. The detector you here we are using is a sodium iodide detector. So the source we are using here is a pencil beam geometry, so that it can give an efficient scatter reductions as compared to the remaining generations. It has a This is only the generations which have a less scattering compared to the other generations. Now coming to the second generations, the source and the detector movement here is rotate then translate. So what type of the source we are using in the second generation is a narrow fan beam. So here the detector we are using number is 30 detector, which is incorporated linearly. So the more data acquire, so we can get a more acquisitions of the data, so that we can improve the image quality. So it's 600 rays into 540 field of view we can get in this second generations. The scan time is shortest as compared to the first generation, and the timing is 18 seconds per slide. So as we are using the narrow fan beam, it allow more scatter radiations in the images. So this is how the arrangement of the source and detector in second generations. You see the source and which is incorporated with linearly with n numbers of the detectors array. Coming to the third generations, the movement of the source and detector here is a rotate then rotate. So the source here we are using is a wide fan beam. So number of the detector is also increasingly. So in the second, if you see there is a 30 detector, now in the third generation we see here is an 800 detector we are using. So the angle of the fan beam also increases, so that it can cover entire patients, so that it can eliminate the needs of the translations motions, which is one of the artifact it may cause. Uh, So mechanically it is joined mechanical arrangement wise. X-ray tube and the detectors arrays are joined together, and the scan time here is 1/2 seconds. So this is how the arrangement of your source and detector. So in the third generation, if you see, the movement of the source and detector is rotate then rotate, which may lead to the situation in which detector is responsible for the data corresponding to a ring in the image. So that is one of the drawback in the third generations, is due to the drift in the signal level of the detector over the time effect, so that the coefficients value of the projections to produce a city image causing an artifact. So this is how the artifact is caused in the third generations. So in the next generations of the fourth generations, what the technology has enhanced in the after the third generation in the slip ring technology. The concept of the slip ring technology is in same as that of the DC motor which the slip ring is using. So the main purpose of using the slip ring is to eliminate the direct contact of the your wires with the source. So here uh, alternative cabling system which is provided by the your slip ring, and it was first introduced by the calendar in the 1989. So here you see the devices wise, it is an electromechanical devices which has circular electronic connecting rings and the brushes. So because ring and brushes, it transmit an electrical energy across the moving interface. So it allow power and control signal from the stationary part of the scanner system, which can communicate to rotate the frame through the slip ring. And also it allows the scan frame to rotate continuously with no need to stop between the rotation to rewind the system cable. So the main purpose of the slip ring technology used in the city is to eliminate the direct contact with the your wires and the sources, so that it can minimize the uh, contact, because most of the lot of wires and then it contact, it will create a lot of the problem. So to reduce that direct contact with the wires and the sources, slip ring technology is introduced for in the next coming up generations.